Hey fam, today I'm going to be sharing with you how I went from looking like this to losing 29 pounds or 13 kilograms to looking like this within just 4 months. And then I kept the weight off, all while eating anything I want. Now I know what many of you guys are thinking. There's no way, Logesh, you lost that much weight in just 4 months. But lucky for you, I tracked everything, right? So check this out. This right here, this was on July of 28. I was at 168.8 pounds. Then you can see all my progress. And right at the end here, look at that, 139.8 pounds on December 8th. And then you're like, then what happened after that? Don't worry, I'm going to be sharing everything and explaining what happened even after that. Before I continue, I do want to say that I'm not a medical or health professional, so if you're going to make any lifestyle or diet change, do consult your own doctor. But what I can tell you confidently is that if you apply all the things that I'm going to share in this video, you will lose weight. So for some context, I love food. Previously, I've tried all kinds of diet. I've tried the keto diet, I've tried the low-fat diet, I've tried the low-carb diet, I've tried the raw milk diet. Some of it worked, some of it didn't work, but in the end, every single time I stopped those diets, I gained all the way back. So I knew I needed a plan, I knew I needed something that is sustainable and something that is a new lifestyle that I can change and adapt to while still being able to enjoy all the food I love. Also guys, I am your average person. I am like every single one of you. I have a full-time job, 9 to 5. I also have a second job, which is YouTube. You know, I create videos, I do all these things. I have a young family. I have 2 kids who are 2 years old and 4 years old. So some days I get good rest, other days I don't. Just to kind of give you context, I'm just a normal person, a normal busy adult. I'm not like a fitness influencer or anything like that. So which means that all I'm about to say is things that you can also do. So the number one rule to losing weight is you have to be in a caloric deficit. Very simple. How much calories you consume needs to be lesser than the calories you're using every single day. So step 1 to losing weight is intermittent fasting. I basically ate only from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. every day. So within the 9 to 5 p.m., I have no food restrictions. I can eat, you know, roti canai, nasi lemak, a steak, fries, dessert, anything, but only during that time frame. And then from 5 p.m. to the next day 9 a.m., I'm not consuming anything that has calories. Things like coffee, water, tea, no problem. But anything outside of that, even like 0-calorie soda, no. So eating only from 9 to 5 will mostly ensure that I'm in a caloric deficit. Yes, I can definitely overeat between 9 to 5, but that's what brings us to step 2. So step number 2 is you need to be consuming enough protein in your diet every day. So the hard and fast rule is if you're consuming about 100 grams of protein every day in your diet, that can come in from like a protein shake, steak or anything, you should be good, right? The thing with protein is it not just helps us with like muscle recovery or losing weight or increasing metabolism and all of that. Not just that, but protein constantly keeps you satiated throughout the day and keeps you full. Do this test, all right? Wake up one day and the first meal you take is just pour 2 scoops of protein with water, shake it up and drink it. Right after you do that, you just don't feel like having a breakfast. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I still eat right after taking a protein shake. I know I'm hungry, I still wanna eat. But that feeling of satiateness, satiety, whatever, the feeling of full. So if you're constantly feeling satiated and full, you're not going to overeat. That's never ever going to be a problem for you because you're full, you can't overeat. So step number 3 is kind of like an optional thing, right? So if you can, try to not snack. So the thing for me is I do snack every now and then. Don't get me wrong, there's something that I really like a cupcake or a muffin or something like that, and I just want to snack, or chips or whatever. I'll still do it. But if you can, for your everyday meal, try to eat a larger meal portion. So for me, I would have a breakfast in the morning at 9 o'clock sharp because I'll work out from 8 to 9. 9 o'clock I'll have my breakfast. Then around noon, I'll have my lunch, which usually is like a sandwich or a little packet of nasi lemak or something like that. Then finally, at about dinner time, just before 5, I'll have dinner, which consists of a larger meal. So you can see I have 3 large meals and I'm not snacking in between. So when you don't snack, you're more likely to eat whole foods, foods that come from actual food and nothing that's processed. Remember, food that is processed, junk food, chips and all that kind of stuff is very, very high in calories, and also they don't keep you full. They keep making your body want more and more of it. So if you can eat whole foods, you're not going to eat those things and you're going to feel full and healthy and and all that. So my rules are very simple. When I'm eating at home, I make like simple, clean stuff, stir-fried chicken, maybe some steak. If I like a little packet of nasi lemak, a small portion of it, something light and healthy and comes from whole foods. But if I'm going out, then I enjoy all the things that I cannot get, because remember, at home, you can control what you're cooking with all the ingredients that you have and all that. But out there, you can't control it. And so, when you go out there, you can't be like, oh, I only can eat this and I only can eat that. When you start restricting yourself of certain foods, you're going to get discouraged. So go out and enjoy the good things every now and then. But remember, your everyday eating, try to make sure it's clean. So tip number 4 is you do not want to restrict carbs and sugar. I know you're thinking, don't restrict them. Do not restrict them. Still consume them, but cut down the consumption of them. So what I mean by that is, if you usually have like a large plate of fried rice, have a small plate of fried rice and have a side of protein and vegetables. If you like pasta, have a smaller amount of pasta and have salad on the side. Cut down the amount of carbs and sugar that you're having, but don't restrict them. So even if it's dessert, have dessert. There's nothing wrong with it. I still have dessert after every meal. I mean, America's ruined me that way. But I have just a small portion of it. And I feel satiated, I feel happy. It doesn't ruin me. Take 2 of the whole gym thing, because that didn't work out. Alright. So for those of you who like to go to the gym, I know you've been waiting for this part, okay? So let's talk about workout. So I discovered that the most optimal time to work out is right before you break your fast. So for me, I work out from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 days a week, from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and at 9 o'clock I immediately drink a protein shake for recovery and eat some breakfast, right? So that all helps with the recovery immediately, and I get full and I start my day. So in terms of workout, I did 2 things. I played football or soccer once a week, but since the start of this year, I actually tore my ACL, so I haven't been playing soccer for almost a year now. But the other thing I did consistently was CrossFit. And the reason why I chose CrossFit is because CrossFit was one of those exercises that actually pushed me to the limit. What CrossFit does is it's high intensity interval training. Basically, within like 10 to 15 minutes, you're doing very high intensity work and you're done, right? So I like that. That really fit very well with my lifestyle. But just know that there's no one workout that will 100% work. You can do anything. Anything that goes out there and burn calories, you are good. If you like going to the gym and lifting weights, go to the gym. If you like going on runs, go on runs. If you like jogging, go on a jog. If you like swimming, do swimming. It's fine. Anything for workout is okay. I just happen to choose CrossFit because it worked well for me. Step number 6 is to move or walk as much as you can. If you're able to carve out some time in your day to go on a walk, great. But if not, try to find ways to just keep moving a lot. See, for me, I added walking and moving as much as I can in my daily life. For example, I was working in an office building that I needed to go from meetings to meetings. And instead of just taking the lift, I would just like walk up the stairs, Or at that time, my son was 1 year old and he loved going on walks. So every single time I have an opportunity, I'll just take him, put him on my shoulders and just go on a walk. And because of that, I'm always ensuring that I'm in a caloric deficit. Every single step I take, I'm burning calories. So step number 7 is to drink lots of water. I know, you've heard this like everywhere, even your mom's telling you this every day, but it really does work. Not only water, helps with like health and all that, water also keeps you full. Sometimes you think you're hungry, but actually you're just thirsty. So if you feel like you're like in the middle of the day, you're like hungry, just go drink some water and you'll be like, you know what? I'm fine now. I feel great. So lots of water. So step number 8 is to be flexible. Guys, I know this intermittent fasting and putting rules and guardrails and everything in your life, in your diet and workout and all that is great. But every now and then you have to be flexible. If there's a birthday party to attend after 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening and you want to eat after that, go ahead and do it. It is okay. Live your life. But just remember, after you break it today, tomorrow get back on track and you can continue. So it's okay to be flexible, and it's important so that you can actually sustain it. Okay, so tip number 9 is to not weigh yourself every day. Don't do it because it can sometimes be very, very discouraging. I remember going into this for the first like 1 or 2 weeks, I weighed myself every day and I'd see my weight go up and down, and sometimes I would work out so hard, I would like really eat so clean and do everything, and then at the end of the day I weigh myself and be like, I just went up in weight, like what's happening? So it's so discouraging. I stopped doing that and I started weighing myself only once a week at the end of the week. And over time, yes, there are moments that it goes up, but for the most part it was going down, and it's giving me a better representation of the result. Okay, so step number 10 is your mindset. If you want it to really work, you first and foremost have to want it. You need to have the willingness and the discipline to follow all these things that I've shared. And then be patient. Results is not going to come in a day, a week, 2 weeks, even a month. You might not see much results. But if you keep following this consistently, I guarantee you, you will lose weight. And more importantly, you'll feel healthier and much more fit. So it will all fall in place. You just have to follow it, be disciplined, and just know that it is the long game. It's not the short game. It's not going to happen very quickly. So after finally losing all that weight within 4 months, I wanted to do the ultimate test. I wanted to see if I stopped intermittent fasting, I like cut down so much on my working out, I traveled and I ate as much as I wanted, what would happen? So at the end of the 4 months, I had a trip lined up. I was going back to my country, Malaysia, and I was going to be there for 4 weeks, or 4 to 5 weeks. And I love Malaysian food. I'm going to be there with family, and so I'm not going to be able to work out. I'm not going to be able to intermittent fast. I'm going to live normally. So at the end of my Malaysia trip, I have to admit I did put on weight, but just a little bit. So I put on 5 to 6 pounds only. But something very, very interesting happened right after I came back from the trip. So this was the moment that I lost my weight. You can see the weight up there. Let's see what happened after that. Right? I spiked up, I put on about 5 to 6 pounds, but when I came back, I got immediately back down to my maintenance weight, which was about 142 pounds. I immediately lost that weight. But when I came back, I didn't immediately jump back into like intermittent fasting again and working out and doing all that crazy thing again. I came back to a normal life. I came back to a life that I ate breakfast at a normal time, lunch, dinner at a normal time. I went to parties. I enjoyed the occasional pizzas, burgers, nasi lemak, nasi kanda. I did all those things. I ate desserts whenever I want. But I still maintained some of the principles and lifestyles that I wanted to continue bringing, which is eating clean, eating a lot of protein. All those things that I said, I included as much as I'm able to my everyday life without going insane, if that makes sense. So it worked. I lost the weight and I kept it off. Now it has been 3 years later and I'm still on my maintenance weight, as you saw before. I'm still here. So if your New Year's resolution is to lose weight and keep it off while looking good, give this a shot. Try this 10 steps and I guarantee you, it will change your life and you would be happy you did it. Give it a shot. If you have more questions, leave it down in the comments below. If this helped you at all, like this video, subscribe, and I really, really hope to see you in the next one. Love you guys.